Hi everyone, I'm Iman. Today I want to talk about optimizing and profiling in Golang REST API. Before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Iman Tumorang. I'm engineer in Sendit, working in the platform and front team. My day-to-day is only like maintaining our core library, like internal library, and in front I'm helping the team to build the fraud detection system. So yeah, what we're talking about today is uh, what is software optimization and why we need it. What is system profiling and profiling in Golang and step how to do the profiling in Golang API. And the final result is how to optimize our Golang API. So software optimization. So optimization is like the action of making the best or the most effective use of situation or resources that we have. Let's say, to give some example, let's say I have a server here, a big server with 100 gigabyte memory and then the 64 core CPU. But then the problem is it's only serving one user. So for this case, the resources is to overkill only to serving one user, right? And then another case is like I have a small server, but it's only 1 gigabyte memory and one core CPU. But it's not only serving one, but it's serving like 100 or 1,000 or even 1 million users. For this case, obviously our server will overload, and the result is our performance will degraded, and the response time will be slower, and maybe the server will be down. So what we learn from these two cases is we need to optimize our server to get the optimal resources. So we from the optimize why we need to optimize because we want to know what our system needs, and we want to reduce or maybe improve the resources that our system want, and also to increase our API performance. This is the steps that I usually do when to optimize my own REST API. Uh, First is like obviously we need to have one real application that we want to deploy to productions. And the second step is to do profiling to our application, get the data from the profiling, and do decision whether it's safe to deploy to production or we want to improve a bit more. And next is repeat the step until we really confident. And the final step is to deploy. So in this session, I will talk about, I will do a simple study case. Uh, first step is like to have to have the application that ready to be deployed to production. I already create a simple application, can be found in my GitHub repo. Uh, and then the second step is like to do profiling. But before that, I will talk a bit about profiling. I copy this from web. So profiling is like a dynamic programming analysis to measure like how many resource our application want, how long our the execution time, and the goal is like to optimize our applications. And why we need profiling? Yeah, first also we want to know what is our application needs from memory and from the CPU or maybe from disk, and know how long is the processing time or response time of our API. We want to know like exactly which code or which function we should to improve. And the last step is like we want to more confident before releasing into production. So for Golang API case, the steps to do profiling is first we need to import the library. The proof is a built-in library that Golang provide in in Golang. The second step is we need to run the application, and then we need to do the load testing. For the load testing tools, you can use Apache Benchmark or AB or Hey. I usually use Hey, and or maybe you can use any load testing tools, maybe like Gatling or Gmeter. And while we do the load testing, we need to run the proof to get the data, to get the insight about our applications. So if you guys can see, I will share this later, but to use the proof is really simple. You only like to import the proof and then create a profiling server. So in my application, I create two port. I open two port. One is for the application port, and the other one is for profiling port. So to give an example, I will do a short demo how to use the proof. So here I have the application here. What I've done is like to import the proof, like only one line here in my application, and then the next one is to open the port for the profiling. I run it on port 8080, and next step is we need to run the application. So the first step is to run and then do the load testing, right? So here I will try to call this API. It gives us the result here, and I will do the load testing. So Hey, if you guys are not familiar with Hey, so Hey is like a load testing like Apache benchmark. Min-C means the number of concurrent requests. So I made 50 concurrent requests. Z here meaning the duration, how long we do the load testing. So within the 1 minute, the Hey will do the load testing with 50 concurrent requests to our local server. So while doing the load testing, I will run the proof tool. The command is go tool proof and the port. Yeah, you guys can read this later in Google Docs. So now we are waiting for proof to fetch the profile results to our application. Yeah, give us the result now. So here you can see the proof interface. Also the profiling, the load testing already done. You can see the RPS is 27, it's quite slow. And then you can see the distribution of the response time here and total status code distribution is 200 with 1,600 responses. And then here in proof, we can check the CPU profile. The comment is like, you can just top 10 to get the top 10. You will see the result here. I usually do the when to check if my code is slow or not. If my code really want to improve, is I do the sorting top 10 like based on cumulative. The cum here I will explain later, but basically this one only to sort the based on the response time, the execution time to each function under our applications. So here we can see this is the function fetch articles. It takes 1 second or almost 2 seconds, and you can see the path here is in the handler. Yeah, so this function is take 2 seconds to execute for each uh, duration, its rotation. So after that one is just a simple demo how to import the proof in your project. and how to do the proof to get the result from the proof. The next step is to get the data. So yeah, as demoed previously, we can detect the slow code in with the proof. That's like what I've done here. We get the slow code here is the fetch articles, because that's our article, right? And I mean that's our function, right? And this one is internal function, so we don't have control on it. But this one, I believe we can still have control. And to get data, another data is we can use to get a graphical data. We also can use proof, and also using third-party add. Current case, I use speedscope.add. So it will use like a graphical result, like the result will be something like that if you use speedscope.add. The next is so we based on our profiling, our first profiling, we know that the fetch article is slow, and we know we get the result about our RPS is around 27 RPS, and that's quite slow if I say. So we want to maybe to look up if we can to improve. Maybe we want to improve the RPS so it's more faster. Oh yeah, so I haven't talked about proof a bit. So proof is invented by Google for profiling. The list tool command you guys can try in your local using gotool.proof.help. Usually for my case, when I do profiling to my application, I use these two commands, top n, and the next param is sort by cumulative or flat. And then the next one is I usually use list command. So list command is to check your function in detail. Let's say I have this. I already know that this function is slow, but I want to more deeper why it's slow, which function, which could make it slow. I can just do like something like this. List fetch articles. It will show us for each line which code the slowest one. So this code it takes 90 milliseconds, but this code it takes 1 seconds only this code. So we know the root cause. Okay, maybe the root cause is the get outer, but then is it the get outer or our function? Why it's slow? We can check again to our functions. Like it's slow maybe because we do synchronous loop here. You guys can see like this is really a synchronous loop. For every item in the data, we do get author detail and assign it to the array. So maybe we can improve this maybe like using Goroutine or maybe using batch request to get based on the data. And then this is like the parameter that I've used in the proof tool. Like I said, like I do previously, like top 10 based on cumulative. So coming here is meaning cumulative is total time needed to execute the whole functions. And we also have like a flat here. Also we have a sum. Flat is total time needed to execute the function excluding the external function. So it's the core logic of the function. Sum is just like a coverage percentage of the line. So to give a short example, we have this short function called call me and another function called Budi and called John. In the call me, it calls call Budi and call John. So from this example, we know that the cumulative for the call me function is 5 seconds is because when it's the sum of its total second of the function executed, and flat is the core logic of the call me function. Here, without call Budi and without call John, call me only need 2 seconds, so the flat is 2 seconds. This will be useful when you want to know your function, is it your function slow or your external function is slow. So you will see, you can get this, you can use this in the proof as well. Like from here, you know that the cumulative for the function is like 2 seconds. So also the next thing is using flat graph rendering. Aside using the perf proof, you also can use flame graph tools. For this session, I will use Speedscope app. Maybe in production, you guys also familiar with it. Like in Datadog, there already has this feature. But for this presentation, I will use Speedscope. This is the example of the Speedscope result. So as you guys can see, this is in time frame manner. Like in 7 seconds, we have a fetch article like execute for 4 seconds. And then for how to read this, like this is the core function of the fetch article that we have. So when user call this endpoint, we will goes to fetch article function. So from there we know that this function takes so long to execute. It takes like 4 seconds based on the profiling result. And from the 4 second, the get outer body takes like 3 seconds, 350 seconds, 3.50 seconds. That's quite a lot. So we know that what function we need to improve is this, to like how we can ensure get author by ID sorted and maybe cut a half, or maybe like more faster, maybe like we aim to 2 seconds or 1 second. The next step is like after we get the profiling result, we made the decisions. Like we already have the data from the testing that the FPS is 27, and then we have the profiling result. So display that fetch article and get outer body make the function slow, and then we ask ourselves, is it okay? Is it acceptable, or do we want to improve? If you guess okay, then no need to improve. But if you guys think that we still need to improve it to make it better, so we need to find the solutions. So for my case, I propose 2 solutions. The first solution maybe what we usually people think. I like maybe we can do parallel or trading using coroutine. So instead of synchronous fetch for the outer details, what if we do like we pass the get outer ID to coroutine, and maybe it's faster. Maybe it will solve our problem. Maybe we get the more better result. But then after I tried, uh, the result is still quite similar. Like only improved a bit, like from 27 to 41. That's a good thing. I mean, it's already improved. And then maybe the next step is like it's up to back again to your to to the to this part. Is it okay for you? Like from 27 to 40, is it okay for you, or you want to improve to a better result? Maybe Maybe some of your friends propose a solution, like maybe what if like we do a batch query to database to get the author details. That's what I've done here. Instead of doing it one by one using Goroutine, I try to batching to the query to get the authors based on the array that we have. So here, if you guys see, like this function is fetching the articles from database. Assume it's already like this one is like selecting the title, body, author from the table of articles, and it's returned the array. And then what I've done is like instead of passing to Goroutine one by one, I made an array of the author IDs, something like here, and then I do create a new function get author by IDs and passing the array of the author. And after that, I assign its author to its item, to its article. This function will be returning like a map of author based on the author ID. So if you guys to see the result, the code, here for example, the code, what I've done is like get author by IDs. I pass the author IDs array and will returning a map of author, which is the key is the author ID. And then that function will be called here. And then I'll map the author to its article. Interesting part is that this solution is quite faster and maybe even faster than the previous result. Like I will leave it. Like maybe I will show the result they have done. So what I've done previously using the new solution, it's really faster. Like it's 10 times from the Goroutine part. It's 500 FPS, and it's handle 107 the request response, and that's really a fast solution compared to previous one. Oh, I think this was the resource. Okay, but it's faster. I mean, like the RPS still higher compared to the previous one. This result I done it in when I don't have any when I don't have any application running, so it's quite different. So what we can conclude from this research is like use PayProof to know which code you should to be improved, and then do a lot testing before and after optimize to know if you really make improvement or not. And then optimize after profiling. I mean, like avoid premature optimizing. I've been seeing this in my friend, like when they talk about a slow response time. What the solution that comes first is like directly proposing case. I mean, case is not wrong, but before moving to case, let's try to profile our application to know if there's any slow functions. And then looks for the problem and choose the right solution. I mean, here is like for study case that I've done previously. Using Goroutine might be not the best. I mean, it's still the best rather than synchronous call, but it's not the best maybe for the study case that I've done previously. Like the batch solution is still better compared to Goroutine. And then for the better experience, do a lot testing and profiling in the server. I mean here, like what I've done here is like do a lot testing and profiling in my local. Sometimes we have a lot of application running in local and it consume our resources. So to get the better experience, maybe you create a copy of your production server and then you spam a staging or idle server and like a client, and then do the profiling from there, like between two servers. That will be give you a better result compared to do in local. Actually, I think that's all from my side. I give back to Stanley.
Thank you so much, Iman. That was a very awesome talk. That's a lot of information to take in. So we have a question here from YouTube, from Sirin. So when do you decide to spend time on profiling and optimization? Should the time be better spent refactoring code to clean up the code base first?
So I think I've said this in previous slide. When should I do profiling is before I deploy my application. So when you have a feature, maybe like a new feature, you need to do profiling first, and then to ensure the profiling is like to know what your server needs, and maybe to know if there's any slow code yet that we can improve, if even it's like a bit, it's still helpful. Yeah, when is decide to spend time profiling? Yeah, before you uh, deploy your application to production. It's maybe between after QA or deployment. Yeah, something like that. After we do QA or testing in staging, and we want to release to production, that is time you need to profiling.
How about after the app has been running in production? So like, I think there's another side to this question of Shirin. I, I think I think Shirin want to ask, like, for those production apps, like, when do you decide between whether you want to optimize for performance or you want to like spend time refactoring the code?
Yeah, based on my experience, usually I done it after like we want to improve. Like maybe we want like some. There's a case like we want to the customer already complaining about the response time. That's the time you need to spend time, maybe one sprint or 1 month to do profiling for your entire application. The second time, maybe when your company want to reduce the cost, so you need to like to know how many servers that really your application needs. That's the time when you need to do profiling and for optimization. But the best solution, maybe every time you release a new feature or release a new fix, you need to do profiling to ensure the RPS is not degraded, or to ensure your RPS still the same with the previous version. Yeah.
So it should be like part of the test suite, you would say.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new question from Mas Aji. Is preproof can preproof be used for an app that process data from stream or maybe message broker?
Yeah, Paproof can be used to Paproof is internally will collect all your resources, all your application resources. I mean, like how many memory you use in your application, how long you take for each function. As long as it's under the Golang application, you can still use Paproof, even it's like a working key worker or key runner. Yeah.
There's a new question from Wisma. Is there any disadvantages of this profiling method that you mentioned before?
Maybe the disadvantage is like you how to do some automatically. I know Datadog already have like kind of flame grab rendering. You guys can use Datadog for that. I'm not sure for other monitoring provider. Yeah, the only disadvantage is like you need to do this manually. Maybe you need to do this in CI/CD and configure your CI/CD to get the same result. Yeah.